Namaste. Today I'd like to share with you about a very powerful God, and his name is Nrshimadeva, the Lion God. Now, Nrshimadeva is not so commonly known. There are many gods in Indian, they call it mythology. People of the West often use that term. However, mythology indicates that it's myth, that it's not real. But those who have entered into this knowledge, and this knowledge reveals itself to them from the mystical, esoteric platform, which is another aspect of our multi-dimensional being, we realize that it is not mythology at all. It is actual fact. Reality is much bigger than what is portrayed in this modern Western world. And many of these scripts from ancient India were written about 5,000 years ago. But this knowledge was passed down as an oral tradition before that for many thousands of years. So this history dates back tens of thousands of years and beyond. So such is the history. The Puranas are the history books, and they're the most ancient history books that we have as mankind. And because they're so ancient, modern scientists have called them mythology now, because the knowledge that is contained in these scripts don't fall into the category of understanding which is being portrayed to us as the human race in this modern age. So through the filtering process, this knowledge has been filtered out because it doesn't come into alignment with the modern scientist's opinion that we've developed from apes or monkeys, which the Vedas explains is not the case, that apes and monkeys have always been apes and monkeys, and humans have always been humans, and we've coexisted side by side for millennia, and not that we've developed from one. So Nrshimadeva is an incarnation of Vishnu or Krishna. And the reason I say Vishnu or Krishna is because Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, who lies on the causal ocean in Yoga Nidra as the universes are emanating from the pores of his skin, is often seen as the creator of this manifested cosmic creation. However, through diligent study of the Vedic scripts, one learns that behind the scenes is a beautiful cowherd boy named Krishna who plays a flute. And he's enjoying unlimited pastimes in the spiritual world with his eternal associates. And from Krishna, he expands himself as Lord Vishnu, lying on the cosmic ocean to fulfill the duties necessary within the material world. So in that way, Krishna and Vishnu can be seen as synonymous. However, that understanding is another story for another day, another Leela. So today I'd like to focus on Lord Nrshimadeva, the Lion God, a very powerful God, and a wonderful being to have as a close confidant. He gives protection to those who love him. and he's very fierce and ferocious to those who become inimical towards him. And often many of the gods of India they come for different purposes, and they offer different benedictions. So a particular benediction of Lord Nrshimadeva is that he gives protection. If you're ever in trouble, you can call upon Nrshimadeva and he will come to your assistance. And also Lord Nrsimha, it says, with his lion-like claws, he can enter into your heart and rip out all material desires that don't serve you, that you want to be free from. And Lord Nrshimadeva can assist in that. So he has multi-purposes and he is very powerful. Many people are familiar with other gods, animal gods of India, like Lord Ganesh, the elephant god, Hanuman, the monkey god. But people are not so familiar with Nrshimadeva, the lion god. And it's said that Lord Vishnu, or Krishna, comes in every animal form as an incarnation or avatar. He came as a tortoise, Lord Kurma, a horse, Hayagriva, and he came as Lord Nrshimadeva, the lion god. However, there is a significant difference between Nrshimadeva and Ganesh and Hanuman, and I'd like to explain that briefly, what that difference is. It's taught that there's higher beings than human beings who are known as demigods, and there's unlimited demigods, and generally their abode is in the heavenly realm. Now these demigods, they're not God, they're not Vishnu. By the term demigod, it means they are empowered representatives of the Lord. Empowered representatives. Like in the material world, you may have a queen and she sits on her throne. And she has people who represent her. And they're very powerful because they're representing the queen. And they're also very qualified human beings, especially if the queen is a righteous queen and a virtuous queen, sitting on her throne in uprightness, ruling the world in equality and justice. And if she has those qualifications, then undoubtedly people around her, her inner circle, also have those qualifications. So they're very qualified individuals. And as they go into the world, they'll be given practically the same respect as the queen. For if the ambassador of the queen or king goes to another country, that person is not the queen, but will be given the same honour as given to the queen, because that person is a representative of the queen. So is given the same honour. So likewise, a demigod is a representative of the Lord and is given often the same honour as is given to the Lord, but doesn't have the same potency. The ambassador of the queen doesn't have the same potency as the queen. So a demigod doesn't have the same potency as Lord Vishnu. Now, Lord Vishnu expands sometimes as in an incarnation. Now those incarnations are non-different to the Lord Vishnu. They're just the Lord Vishnu in a different form, as a form of a lion. So in this case, Lord Nrshimadeva is called Tattva. He falls within the same Tattva as Lord Vishnu, so it means he's non-different. So on a percentage level, He is 100% Lord Vishnu, and he has 100% of the potency of Lord Vishnu. Whereas a demigod, like Lord Ganesh, Hanuman, Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, these beings, they don't have the 100% of Lord Vishnu. Their potency is limited. It's said the great mystic yogis of times gone by had so much potency through their mystic yoga practice that they could even create a planet in the universe. Such is the wonderful ability of their potency and our potency as human beings. However, what is that potency compared to the Lord who creates unlimited universes? So that is the difference between an empowered human, a demigod, and an incarnation of the Lord. So Lord Nrsimha is non-different to Lord Vishnu, and he is known as a Leela avatar. A Leela avatar. And now Leela means pastimes. So he's incarnated to perform or enact a specific pastime. And that is why Lord Nrshimadeva came. And there's a beautiful mantra we can chant to Lord Nrshimadeva. We can sing to Lord Nrshimadeva to invoke his mercy, to invoke his presence, to invoke his protection, and to assist us in our journey in this material world. We can connect to this lying God. I was thinking of the example of the queen who could shapeshift into a lioness. Human beings could do that, and some still can. Now, if the queen shapeshifted into a lioness, those who have knowledge will know this is the queen, and right now she's manifesting as a lioness, but she's non-different to the queen. And those who don't know will just think it's a lioness in its own right. So Lord Nrshimadeva is like that. Those who know will realise this is non-different to Lord Vishnu. Such is the potency of Nrshimadeva. So he's a Leela avatar, one who descends into the material world to perform a specific Leela or pastime. So the Bhagavat Purana, a beautiful script sharing the history of ancient India, or it was known as the land of Bharat, shares this Leela that Lord Nrshimadeva came many, many thousands of years ago and performed this Leela. And the mantra that we will sing shares this Leela or this pastime. And the pastime goes like this. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a terrible person, and his name was Hiranyakashipu. Now, Hiranyakashipu was a great demon, and he performed terrible austerities to get his power. Terrible austerities. But he got his power, and he ruled over the world in a ferocious way. We think that our leaders in this age of Kali today are terrible leaders that oppress the people, weigh heavily on us with tax, high rent, but this is nothing compared to the tyranny of this Hiranyakashipu. He would sit on his balcony as his army marched past. In synchronization with their marching, they'd be chanting, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu. And it brought great joy to his heart to hear everyone chanting his names. Now this Hiranyakashipu, he had a beautiful child. And the child's name was Prahlad. Now Prahlad was a pure devotee of Lord Vishnu. And he was born a devotee. Some people, we just bring what we bring from our previous life. Like we say, Lord Nrshimadeva is an incarnation of God. He incarnated. Well, we incarnate. We reincarnate. Reincarnation. Life after life. Birth after birth. In the cycle of samsara, we reincarnate. But who are we? We are not this body. Because when we leave this body, we take another body. And we're not that body. We're the eternal spirit. Taking on different forms. So this is the Supreme Lord incarnating, taking on a different form as Nrshimadeva. So likewise, Prahlad Maharaj, he came into this world as a pure devotee of the Lord. And even though his father was a terrible demon, Prahlad was not disturbed at all. And not only was he not disturbed, he was not influenced either by his father's demoniac ways. He went to a school, and there he was taught politics. He was taught the art of diplomacy, how to control others and manipulate their minds by subtle means, or if necessary, by force. But he didn't care for these teachings one bit. He would always be praying the Lord, praising the Lord Vishnu. And any time he had a moment when the teachers, the demoniac teachers representing Hiranyakashipu, would leave the classroom, even from the tender age of 5, he would engage all his classmates in singing the glories of the holy names and sharing the glories of Lord Vishnu to them. One day, Prahlad came home from school. And his father said, "Come, Prahlad, sit on my lap and tell me, what have you learnt from school?" Well, when Prahlad shared with him his love again for Lord Vishnu, Hiranyakashipu pushed him off his lap. "What are you talking about?" And he called the teachers in immediately. "What are you teaching my son?" "We haven't been teaching him these things of Lord Vishnu. We don't know where he's getting this knowledge from." "Well, up security. Maybe someone's sneaking in and sharing this knowledge with him. Make sure he doesn't get influenced anymore." Sometime later, Prahlad came home again from school and his father called him in. "So Prahlad, tell me, what have you been learning at school?" And Prahlad was very straightforward with his father. "Father, you are such a demon. The way you fight against Lord Vishnu, the way you fight against the people and oppress them, you're a terrible demon. And my love is only for Lord Vishnu." Father pushed him off his lap. "You're no son of mine." And he called in his demoniac servants. "Take this wretched child away and execute him immediately." Such was the terrible nature of Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad, undisturbed, entered into deep prayer and meditation on his beautiful beloved Lord, Sri Vishnu. As the terrible, gruesome-like features of demoniac servants of Hiranyakashipu violently took Prahlad Maharaj to a vat of boiling oil. They lifted him up and threw him in the vat. However, the burning oil did not burn Prahlad Maharaj. Lord Vishnu came and personally protected him. The demons were amazed and told Hiranyakashipu of what happened. Hiranyakashipu said, "Find some other means to exterminate this wretched child." They threw him on the floor and got the elephants out to trample the young Prahlad. However, the footsteps caused no harm on him as he entered into a trance-like meditative state on his beloved Lord Sri Vishnu. They put him on a pile of wood and lit the wood, and the fire and the flames engulfed the young Prahlad, but still he did not get burnt. They threw him off a cliff. Lord Vishnu caught him, like a mother cradling a baby in her arms, and he landed on the floor at the bottom of the cliff in safety. They threw him in a pit of snakes. The snakes didn't bite. The deadly snakes befriended the young Prahlad, and in this way they couldn't kill the beautiful devotee Prahlad Maharaj. When his father heard this, he was furious, and he got the young boy and he asked him, "Who is this Vishnu of yours? Where is he? I want to destroy him." And at this point, the young Prahlad saw Vishnu in his eyes, in his vision, and he said, "Vishnu is everywhere, Father." And the father, in a great rage, said, "Is he in this pillar?" Which was a pillar at the palace on the veranda, a beautiful large marble pillar. And there Lord Vishnu appeared in the sight of Prahlad in the pillar. And Prahlad said, "Yes, Father, he is in this pillar." So Hiranyakashipu struck the pillar, and he said, "If he's in this pillar, then why doesn't he reveal himself to me?" And at this point, there was a cracking sound like thunder, so loud it seemed to pierce the covering of the universe. A sound that no one had heard before. And out from the pillar came this ferocious being that no man had ever seen before. Half lion, half man. Lord Nrshimadeva appeared. A fight ensued. Hiranyakashipu drew his sword, and with all his ability and all his might, he tried to slay the terrible-looking Nrshimadeva. The fight went on all day, but it was explained that Lord Nrshimadeva was toying with Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu's armies would flood at Nrshimadeva, and he would rip them to pieces with his nails, his sharp nails. And it said Hiranyakashipu was like a cat, how it would play with a mouse until it was time to finish the mouse. So Nrshimadeva was playing with Hiranyakashipu, but Hiranyakashipu was fighting his hardest. And at the appointed time, Lord Nrshimadeva, with one swipe, finished the life of the great demon Hiranyakashipu. At this point, he took his body, which still had life in it, and put it on his lap. And with his nails, he drove them into the abdomen of this terrible demon and ripped open his abdomen like a ferocious lion would rip open its prey. Now, in India, as a sign of respect to a venerable person, individuals would often make flower garlands and honour a person by putting a flower garland around their neck. Well, this Hiranyakashipu decided to garland himself, but not with flowers. As he ripped open the abdomen of the terrible demon Hiranyakashipu, he took his intestines and drew them out of his body as Hiranyakashipu took his last breath, and he garlanded himself with the bloody intestines. Such a ferocious being had never been seen before. The demigods were in the sky watching this whole Leela, or pastime, taking place, because the demigods have even been tormented by Hiranyakashipu. Such was his power that he achieved through terrible austerities, that even the demigods and the heavenly planets were being disturbed by this terrible demon. So for them to watch their beloved Lord Vishnu in his incarnation as Lord Nrshimadeva appear and rip Hiranyakashipu to pieces brought them great pleasure. At this point, they descended to earth. But because of the ferociousness of Lord Nrshimadeva, no one, not even the greatest demigods like Lord Shiva, could approach Nrsimha. Very gently they started to push. The demigods started to push the 5-year-old Prahlad Maharaj forward, because only the purity of this pure devotee of Lord Vishnu would be able to appease the anger and the ferocity of Lord Nrshimadeva. So gently and humbly, Lord Sri Prahlad went forward with a flower garland and offered it to Nrshimadeva. And at this point, Nrshimadeva became peaceful. Order was restored on planet Earth. And this beautiful lion god, Nrshimadeva, appeared to perform a particular pastime. And that pastime was to protect his devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, and to annihilate the miscreant, Hiranyakashipu. So we can also call upon Lord Nrshimadeva, and there's a specific prayer that we're going to chant now to call upon Lord Nrshimadeva, and we can do this and call for protection. And in this time, many people are concerned about this coronavirus, so we can call upon the Lord to protect us, so we can walk out and be protected by Lord Nrshimadeva. And we can also ask him to rip away any material desires we have that hold us back from reaching our full potential in life. So let me read the mantra to you before I sing it, and I'll read the translation also. So this is what it says about Lord Nrshimadeva. Lord Nrsimha is the incarnation of Lord Krishna, that appeared to protect his young devotee, Prahlad. He appeared as half man, half lion, and killed the envious atheistic demon Hiranyakashipu, who was materialism personified. Hiran, translated is gold, Kashipu, translated is soft bed. Devotees pray to Lord Nrshimadeva for protection and to kill their material desires. Now this is the mantra and the translation. Namaste Nrsimhaya Prahlad Dayane Hiranyakashipu Vakshaiha Shila Tanka Nakalaye. I offer my obeisances. It's in 3 parts. This is part 1. I offer my obeisances to Lord Nrsimha, who gives joy to Prahlad Maharaj, and whose nails are like chisels on the stone-like chest of the demon Hiranyakashipu. Ito Nrsimho, Harato Nrsimho, Yato Yato, Yami Tato Nrsimho, Bahir Nrsimho, Hidahe Nrsimho, Narasimham Adim Sharanam Prapade. Lord Nrsimha is here and also there. Wherever I go, Lord Nrsimha is there. He is within the heart and is outside as well. I surrender to Lord Nrsimha, the origin of all things and the supreme refuge. Tava Kala Kamala Vare Nakam Abhuta Shlingam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Kanablingam Keshavadvita Narahalirupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of half man, half lion, all glories to you. Just as one can easily crush a wasp between one's fingernails, so in the same way the body of the wasp-like demon Hiranyakashipu has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails on your beautiful lotus hands. Jai Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki Jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai. Let me just get my mridanga drum. Namaste Nrsimhaya. Namaste Nrsimhaya. Prahlad Dayane. Prahlad Dayane. Hiranyakashipu Vakshaiha. Hiranyakashipu Vakshaiha. Shilatakana Kalaye. Shilatakana Kalaye. Ito Nrsimho Padato Nrsimho. Ito Nrsimho Padato Nrsimho. Nrshimadeva Sharanam Prapade Yato Yato Yamitato Nishinho Yato Yato Yamitato Nishinho He Nishinho Hita He Nishinho Bahi Nishinho Hita He Nishinho Nrshimadeva Sharanam Prapade Nrshimadeva Sharanam Prapade Tapakala Kamala Varenaka Abhuta Singha Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanabringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Vakala Kamala Varenaka Abhuta Singha Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanabringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Muslim Hare Muslim Hare Muslim Hare Jaya Muslim Jaya Muslim Hare Muslim Hare Muslim Hare Jaya Muslim Jaya Buddha Prahlad Buddha Prahlad Buddha Prahlad Buddha Prahlad Buddha Prahlad Jaya Hari Hari Bo Hari Bo Buddha Hari Hari Bo Hari Bo Nrshimadeva Bhagwan ki Jai Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. And the sun has come out. When we chant, the clouds of illusion, despair depart, and the sun of truth shines its light. Thank you, everybody. Have a glorious day. Jai Nrshimadeva. Please call upon him for protection and experience the joy of having a connection with this beautiful God, Nrshinga. Namaste, Saraswati Devi.